Hi folks, have a listen to this jerk. He's making a comment on an old video of mine that gets popular every Christmas. It's called The Real Pagan Meaning of Christmas Day. And he says, "Not sure what this is meant to prove or disprove. I assume you were living in a bubble if you didn't know a lot of this stuff before. It's a well-known fact that when Christianity was taking over the pagans, that they used the same dates to help convert them to and stop them practicing the pagan holidays. In other words, we hijacked them." Well, I'm glad you can actually admit that. In much the same way, commercialization and Santa Claus has hijacked it in modern times. This video speaks to people as if they are Egypts. I assume this guy must be Irish like me. But you appear to be the only one who didn't realize this before. No one in faith thinks that the dates are correct. We know they aren't. But we want to celebrate Christ's birth. The actual date doesn't matter. Oh, but it does. I think people sometimes get the impression from my old video that I'm against the celebration of Christmas. And that's not true at all. Well, it kind of is. What I mean is, the people who should be celebrating Christmas are the non-believers. Christians shouldn't be celebrating Christmas. Why not? Because you know that Christmas Day has nothing to do with the birth of Christ. Now, I get the fact that nobody knows when Jesus was born, so you have to pick a date. But what I can't abide is this view that you're going to let it take the place of an existing festival, especially when that festival has some importance that is now being undermined because everybody thinks it's about Jesus Christ or Santa Claus. Here's what I'm getting at. The celebration of Christmas, according to the Christian, is about the birth of their Saviour, God being born as a man who will come to save the world. Now, to me, that's complete hogwash. It's 2,000-year-old myth. Yes, there was a Jesus, but we don't know what things are true and what things are not true about him. It's certainly not true that he was born on the 25th of December. And I don't think it's true either that he rose from the dead. So to me, he's not my Saviour God. I was at a carol service recently and I was listening to the carols and listening to the Bible verses and stuff. And it was all just utterly meaningless to me. Obviously. But here's the thing. For me and people like me, of which there are many, to whom Christianity has no meaning, something real is happening in the world at this time of year. Not something mythical, not something semi-historical, not something from the mists of time. Something real and dynamic is happening to the world. The sun is now starting back in a position of strength. On the 22nd of December, we had the darkest day. And from that point on, the days get gradually brighter as the sun occupies more of the sky on its course across the sky each day. And with that comes new life. So, the world is being born anew for another year. Death is being banished. Life has come again. The plants are going to grow. Food will be produced. That's all real. That's all happening. That's all a reason to celebrate. And there I am, sitting in a carol service, and nobody but me realizes this. Nobody but me, and maybe a very small handful of others, feels the significance of what is happening in a real way in the world around them. So the non-believer should celebrate Christmas, but they should celebrate it for what it really is. Sol Invictus, as the Romans would have said, the unconquered sun, back for another year. I'm not suggesting that we should worship the sun as a god, of course not. But what I am suggesting is that we should acknowledge what is really happening to the world because of the sun at this time of year. So yes, the Christians stole Christmas. It wasn't called Christmas, but they called it that. They stole it, just like they stole Easter, which is all about fertility, growth, not the resurrection of their crucified Lord. So, you stole Christmas, and we want it back. That's why it's important. I get that you want to celebrate your God. I really do. But you shouldn't celebrate it on this day, because this day already has an existing meaning. And this guy who commented, he can even acknowledge that it was theft. So every time you celebrate Christmas, that's an acknowledgement of your theft. Now maybe you think it's too difficult to change because this tradition has been established for over 1.5 millennia. Well, here's the thing. There's a particular branch of Christianity that most of you don't even consider Christianity. It's called the Jehovah's Witnesses. And I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, and I'm not, advocating joining that particular religion. But they actually wanted to make a clean break. They said, okay, we recognize that we have the one true religion, which is what you believe too, right? It should not have been mixed with paganism. So let's take away the paganism. We're not going to celebrate Christmas. And they don't. And they're consistent. But the rest of you, all the other sects of Protestantism and Catholicism, you haven't got any fortitude. You just keep on doing the things that have already been done. So Christmas, what it really is every year, Christmas is a glaring advertisement of your own hypocrisy and your own lack of conviction. That's all it is. Whereas to me, I understand what it really means, and every Christmas I celebrate what it really means. But I do it privately. It would be great if there was a way to do it publicly. But there isn't, because everybody's brainwashed and deluded by a false religion. So, can you understand slightly why I sort of feel strongly about it? Think about it.